what is up everyone, I am Demon Cringe, and you know how there are some really bad looking cartoons out there, whether it be budget constraints or they were simply trying to freak us the hell out. There are some cartoons out there that are so bad it really makes you wonder how the hell they got past episode 1. And oh boy, what can I say about this show? You know, it's pretty ironic that video games really haven't translated well into other mediums, which is actually pretty funny considering other mediums actually translated well into video games. Like for example the Witcher or Metro novels for instance. This cartoon's ugliness comes from its bastardization of beloved Nintendo characters in both writing and in terms of design that couldn't really be further from the originals even if they tried. This, ladies and gentlemen, is Captain N, the Game Master.
Welcome to Videoland.
Mega High! Wake up, Kid Icarus!
Welcome to Castle.
Now what did I say, everyone? What did I just say? The characters couldn't be further from the originals if they tried, and we'll be getting to those characters pretty soon. So this show actually aired in a block along with 2 Super Mario shows. It actually ran as a Saturday morning cartoon on NBC from September 1989 to October 1991 with a total of 4 seasons and 34 episodes. The show's story was about a kid called Kevin and his dog Duke, who both got warped through the TV into Videoland. Yeah, you can tell that this was made by normies. After that, Kevin finds out that it is his destiny to become the legendary hero Captain N, the Game Master, and to protect Videoland from Mother Brain with the help of iconic Nintendo characters such as Mega Man the Green Bomber and Simon Belmont the Guido Vampire Hunter. Thankfully, Mario was spared from this horror. And now, with that little short description of the story out of the way, let us dive into the characters, starting with the titular hero. Captain N, aka Kevin Keene, is just a regular kid who ends up getting warped through his own television screen into Videoland and ends up becoming Captain N, the Game Master, the hero who is destined to defeat Mother Brain and at the same time argue with all the other characters. Now, at the start of the show, the character is actually pretty recluse, but quickly opens up and gets a hand of his new abilities. The second character is Princess Lana, who is the current ruler of Videoland, substituting for her father who has unfortunately been abducted. She is very kind and soft-spoken, but is also a pretty good fighter as she was trained from a very young age, and yes folks, she is Kevin's love interest, who even ends up kissing him a few times. And now, ladies and gentlemen, with the original characters out of the way, we get into the bastardization of the beloved Nintendo characters, starting off with Simon Belmont, who instead of being a brave vampire hunter like he is in the games, in the show the writers basically turned him into a spray-tan narcissist that rivals Kevin and tries to win over Alana's hand. Mega Man, on the other hand, was turned into a stubby green midget with a face only a mother could love, and for some reason they thought it was a good idea to make the word Mega his catchphrase, and he ends up saying it over 1,000,000 times in the show with a voice that sounds like he smokes 10 packs a day.
Mega power, my mega buddy, my mega sensors, and I'll make a mega diversion. It's mega stronger than a mega warp. Have enough mega power to mega move it.
A mega monstrous castle! Oh, I'll show this mega lizard how kind of mega magic! Wow, that was mega fun! Wow, that was mega fun!
Kid Icarus is Lana's loyal archer with arrows that can dematerialize enemies, and of course they actually use that word and substitute for kill because of Nintendo's, of course, family-friendly nature. Unfortunately, he was not spared from the bastardization as he has been given a horrible voice, and for some reason they also made him end most of his sentences with Icus.
My arrows will stop that Apicus Maximus. Let me go, Icus!
1, 2...
That was a real cool move, Kevinicus. Hey, thanks, Kevinicus. You're a pretty good game master after all.
Now, the show did actually have a pretty good assortment of villains from the various Nintendo universes they featured, but none of them were as memorable or as frightening as Mother Brain. I mean, come on folks, just look at her. In addition to being the main villain, she is also about as vain as Simon, and they made her into a sassy, trash-talking black woman with a white woman's face.
I'm just a mean green mother from outer space, and I'm lame. I'm just a mean green mother from outer space, and it looks like you've been had. I'm just a mean green mother from outer space, so get off my back, get off my face, 'cause I'm...
You know, ladies and gentlemen, this really makes me wonder, did the creators themselves actually play the games, or at least knew how the characters actually looked? Now, I really don't need to say much, you know, the animation itself was okay, nothing spectacular, you know, it was okay for its time, although there were some segments where it looked really like a poor and low budget and all that. The original characters, I gotta say, they did look pretty good. You know, they did a good job with the original ones. But the Nintendo characters, oh my god. Now, even if this show is actually pretty bad and most remember it as like a guilty pleasure, its legacy did in fact carry on because the show featured so many Nintendo universes. There have actually been lots and lots of Nintendo games down the line that have actually referenced the show in one way or another. Now, if you actually still enjoy this show because it was a part of your childhood and all that, well, I gotta say that's pretty cool. More power to you and all that. Everyone has their guilty pleasures. But for me, this show, the fact that it basically reduced these classic characters into simple comic relief characters and gave them such horrible designs makes Captain N the Game Master one of the ugliest cartoons ever. Well everyone, that about wraps it up. That's all I gotta say. Thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe to the bell icon, and if you wish to support me in another way, my Patreon link is in your description below, and as always, I'm David and Cringe. I'll be seeing you guys else in the next video.